the world of Lania, or the continent of Lania, sorry. Oh, fuck. You guys are all right at the moment in Riser, in the city of Flint, which you can see there just below the Avery Sea. You've
Right there.
travelled as far as Shale, I believe, which was right there, the yellow arrow. And you've also travelled to Axis Island in the first adventure. So it's a bit of a here's where we are picture. Now, last session, or last adventure, the group... Actually, I'll do a whole adventure recap. You guys went to investigate, off the books, a temple that had a research group, or rather a dig site, sorry, that had a research group all but decimated, with one survivor, Zambria, Dr. Meredith Zambria, I think her name was. And
Yep.
upon arriving at this temple, you had found some sort of portal to another plane hidden inside the temple, and what was supposed to be a golden plate or a golden icon blocking the entrance and keeping back anything inside this temple. You then had to escape from this temple as it Indiana Jones style collapsed around you, as well as things coming to life and chasing you and flooding and all that good shit. Heart racing, all excitements. You managed to get out before dying, and were surprised to find thousands upon thousands of undead ready to tear your nipples off. The undead seemingly moved towards you to attack, but then stopped, and out from the ground burst what you now know is one of the titans of this universe, or this land, I should say. A large worm. What was he called? Titan of...
Rot, I think?
Titanicness.
Yeah.
Voice of Rot.
Voice of Rot, that's the one. Yeah, the Titanic, your Titanicness was the proper title you should have called it. Found out later. But he basically charged you with the duty of chasing down something or someone that had escaped from the portal, and should rightfully be destroyed or returned. You then gained the use of an ability called Contact Other Planes, I think. Or basically something that gave you Sense Other Planes. I can't remember what it was called. Basically, it gave you the ability to follow the trail of something from another plane that is interacting with this. Hang on, I need to go beat each other.
So should we actually stop by and see this Titanicness?
I mean,
Well, the thing is still. No, wait, we did get it. Yeah, we
murdered the shit out of him, man.
Yeah, that's
We
right. We actually.
trained it.
Yeah.
Toot toot. Chugga chugga.
Did he actually
No, I mean-
promise us any goodies, or was I'm pretty
No,
sure
he just charged you with doing that.
Yeah, he basically just said do that, and he's not going to come after us or something. I think it was the deal.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a fair, exchange to me.
And
Yeah,
if
so-
you go back
Friends
there,
with him.
there might not be anything he needs you to do to not kill you.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's a
you
good
guys chase down this thing. You beginning to have a suspicion that perhaps Zambria was involved in this somehow. And when you return back to Flint to chase it, your suspect at the time, Caius Bergeron, who was related to other investigative matters that you were looking into, was murdered, as well as anyone else associated with the dig, with the exception of Zambria. This all but assured that she was guilty. Almost basically confirmed when you guys traveling alongside her ship after another temple visit, this time to the Temple of Mavisha. Traveling alongside her ship, you found out that her entire crew had been killed, and she had made a break for Flint a little bit faster than you guys. You traveled back to Flint to chase her. Found out, or had it on good intelligence, that it was likely that she was going to attack the museum that was showing off the golden icons of Apet, something related to the original temple where this thing came from. You attempted to set a trap, and sure enough, Zambria, along with some creatures of Apet, came along. Jabro, push to talk, motherfucker.
Sorry,
some of these creatures came along. You can just hear you chewing every time you do. So Zambria and some of these creatures crashed the museum. You guys fought them off, saved a fair few people, and then Zambria surrendered. She began to tell you that it was her all along. She basically wanted the chance to confess and said that she was possessed, and she needed you to take her somewhere safe, such as the cells of the RHC, in order to ensure that nothing bad happens from here. You guys thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea, let's do that, they're safe. And took her to the RHC, where it was revealed that it was her plan all along. And she, using these strange plane crossing powers, began to move through the RHC after what she wanted, which was something from Saxby. You're not sure 100% what it was, but Saxby got something out of a safe and gave it to her. Saxby being the previous inspector. Sorry, the previous. What was her fucking title?
Chief Inspectress?
Was it Chief Inspectress?
Fucking whore.
She was the. Chief Inspector, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Chief Inspector Lady Margaret Saxby, which you guys had also found some information in the course of your investigations earlier that hinted she was up to no good and perhaps hated you with a passion. Something to do with McBannon and a group called the Obscurati, which you've heard of by name now. This attack on the RHC was quite devastating. A lot of people were killed. You guys were nearly killed, and underneath the RHC, a creature was nearly released and would have wreaked some serious havoc amongst the population if that creature and the plane that it was bringing with it had not been collapsed by Orzhov riding a train. Toot toot. So you rode the train into the portal with a golden plate on the front, and managed to collapse it and stop disaster from occurring. And that was last session. And this sort of wind up, Stover Delft was promoted to Chief Inspector after Lady Saxby had managed to escape amongst all the fighting. You guys had to make a decision whether you tried to lock her down or go and help your dying friends down below. And you'd made the wise decision to go and ensure the safety of the immediate area as opposed to trying to get Saxby. It's at this point that we meet up with the group once again. It's been probably another week at this point since the massive attack on the RHC had occurred. All manner of people have been brought in to help with the rebuild and help with the investigation, internal and otherwise, including a couple of members that are seconded to your team as part of a wider audit, in addition to Viscount Inspector Nigel Price-Hill's audit from last adventure. This is more of a observational audit, and onto your team, Malzin of the Unseen Court has been assigned to you. He's a bit of a consultant. Malzin, would you like to introduce your character?
Absolutely. Are we being introduced in person, or
Entirely up to you.
are they getting like a dossier?
No, so this will be them meeting you, but you don't have to act anything out. You can just describe it if you like. It's entirely up to you. but they are meeting you. Delft has assigned you to this group of what he calls misfits of the highest order.
Malzin looks like a misfit himself. He's some weird combination of kind of stereotypical heroism and exotic barbarian. He's got kind of dark skin. He's dyed his hair blood red. He's got feathers and little like small animal skulls in it. He's got a fancy long coat, the type you see on private eyes on the covers of Penny Dreadfuls. Kind of high cheekbones, big flashy heroic grin, large hand gestures.
And a great big bushy beard. Sorry, that's all I had in my head. All right. And what's his expertise? What would Delft say is his expertise for joining this crew? What do you bring to a group?
What isn't my expertise?
So
I'm Malzin of the
Modesty.
Unseen
Sounds like he
Court.
just volunteered
Surely
to
you've
do
heard
all
of
our
me.
jobs.
So you are as expertised as anyone in any matter they might find.
Oh, well, nice to meet you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's lovely to meet you all. I hear you're terrible misfits.
Well, terrible is accurate.
As is Misfit. Delft climbs
So
up.
it's
We fit
So it's
together
entirely
quite
accurate
well,
then.
just not with others. I guess, except for Dimitri, he's quite the misfit.
Yeah. We don't do well with being observed or controlled.
Oh, well, that might be a problem with me.
Which brings us to Adeusis. So, Adeusis, who are you?
Great question. This guy, he looks a lot like this portrait here, but you can, like, his robe, like, it's a very fancy, magically embroidered robe. But you can see very practical, almost worker-like clothing underneath the cloak.
All right.
You can see that he also has a pair of spectacles. They're just kind of nearly hanging off his nose. He doesn't really go to push them up or anything. They're just kind of hanging right there, right on the edge there. And he's just kind of, when he looks at you, his eyes are just kind of above the spectacles. It's almost like he's not really using them for sight so much.
They're just there for show.
He's a hipster.
Fantastic. They've actually got no lenses. All right. So, and what does Adeus bring to the team? Why has he been assigned to this team? Is he a
His particular expertise is technology and magicka, and the intersection between the two.
All right. So is he a member of the RHC or is he a consultant as well?
He's another consultant, yes.
All right, fantastic. So Delft introduces these two, and with your rather confused-looking faces as to why exactly your party is being seconded with these two consultants, as if it was a dirty word, he explains that with the information you gathered about the Obscurati from last adventure, he finds it entirely prudent that we have some presence at this supposed meeting that Caius Bergeron was supposed to be attending in Vendris on the 20th of winter. You guys had found this information on Caius's journal and confirmed it. I think Saxby had some information and Zambria had some information in her journal that confirmed this stuff. That there's going to be a meeting of whoever these Obscurati are, and Delft wants you guys to do it because, well, you've made a bit of a name for yourself in getting things done off the books. So hereby
Wait, you
giving
know
you.
our name?
I'm hereby giving
Mitch.
you 20 days unpaid leave, and
I-
you'll be
I- I-
traveling to
again?
Ventress.
Wait, why unpaid?
He just looks at you, and it looks like he's trying to wink, but he just blinks at you heavily with both eyes, and then takes a big drag of his cigar.
Guys, we've been stood down again.
He
I think
pulls up
he's
a
hitting
report
on
on
me.
his desk, and he says, "This report from the audit.
Oh no.
I had a conversation with Nigel, Viscount Nigel Price Hill.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy.
He wants me to ignore it. Hell, I want to ignore it. But you see, not ignoring it is in our interest right now. You, as a group, are officially no longer members of the RHC.
I look at Dimitri.
Your audit has been
Dimitri.
found wanting. Dimitri, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say his sort of, straw hits the floor, sort of clutches his chest.
Oh,
This-
is this the part of the story where you tell them to turn in their badge and their weapon?
Exactly. This report will be given to the media in a controlled statement. You will be copping, well, not all of the blame, but certainly some of the blame of the latest atrocities that have befallen the city of Flint and the RHC.
That fire was not our fault.
He shakes his head. Look, I know it's not your fault, and it isn't your fault. Once all this is said and done, your histories will be rectified. This is
I-
just,
I love this part.
it's in our interest.
I love this part of the story.
It's in
Now
our
you're
interest
loose cannons
for
out
you
for
to-
revenge.
Yeah, to go out to the train. Catch the train to Vendris, no longer being parts of the RHC.
I'm just gonna wink dramatically. I gotcha. I gotcha.
But this is... Why can't we do this within the bounds of law? Why must you take badge away from me?
He looks at you.
Dimitri,
This is only a temporary matter, Dimitri. Very temporary.
Yeah. Dimitri's not going to look happy, but he'll nod.
He will suggest that if you're wanting to remain a member of the RHC, there is recourse for this, but you would need to be on the train in a different capacity to the rest of you.
You're saying I would not have to... Actually, I think Dimitri would probably like that. It's...
Not being associated with the others.
Yeah.
that's fair.
He's still, he'll get over it, but he's it's gonna take some time. So
He nods. Well, then it shall be done. You will be the RHC replacement for what is the equivalent of a marshal, basically, on the train. You'll be the RHC officer on the train for this trip.
all right.
And Adasis and Melton, you, as consultants, not members of the RHC, your cover is already intact. You will also just be travelers on this train. You will not be associated with Dimitri. Any discussion with him immediately will have to be entirely covert, lest his and your cover be blown.
I'm great at
I
not
understand.
associating with people. Also at associating with people.
You know, it is settled then. The train leaves in 4 days. Better be all on it. Badges, and he taps the desk with his forefinger.
I left mine at home.
He just stares at you. Oh, we lost Duck. Disconnect.
Like, wait, we're meant to carry those around?
Apparently.
He still looks expectantly at you.
Just what kind of group have you saddled me up with here?
I fish around in my pockets to find it.
Pull out a gun. Alright, so you guys hand in your badges, basically. I'm assuming right level 2, he's just disconnected, but that's right. You guys hand in your badges with the exception of Dimitri. And Dimitri, you are sent to the train.
Automatically arrest us?
So the train company, yes, arrest your friend. You're sent to the train company to basically go through training with the RHC officer that is there ahead of the journey, so you sort of know what you're actually supposed to be doing.
Yep.
Okay, bloody fuck DC. All right. So over the next 4 days, Dimitri, you'll be training with them. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're in Flint before leaving? This is a journey that'll be taking you well out of Flint, almost all the way to Daynor.
I'll ask Zambria if she's anything she wants to pick up from her place.
Sorry, not to Daynor. From Daynor
The-
all the way to Vindres. So this is your starting point in Daynor, and Vindres over here is your ending point. This is a very long train journey.
Wait, where's the starting point?
Daynor, apparently.
And I believe it starts in
Back
Beaumont.
home, then.
So how come? So the RHC has a presence on a Daynor train.
Correct.
What?
Remember,
So 4
Daynor and
days we're on the
Flint,
train.
Daynor and Riser are currently building up an alliance at the moment. It's a exchange.
Oh,
of
yep. So this is sort
workforce
of
people.
yeah.
Yeah, this is
Right.
like a international peacekeeping
Team
force
build.
sort of thing.
Yeah, peacekeeping. Yeah.
So we're going to be on a train in 4 days in Daynor.
Correct.
How are we going to get to Daynor in 4 days?
On the RNS Impossible.
And when do we have to leave for that?
That's a good point. Maybe it says you're leaving in 4 days. Maybe the boat is leaving in 4 days.
Okay, yeah.
Hang on one second. So, is there anything you need to do or want to do while you're here?
Does Zambria want to pick anything up from her house?
I don't know. Does Zambria? You are
Sure.
Zambria's intelligence. It's not one that I'm going to be RPing. It's one that you're going to be RPing.
Yes, Zambria wants to go pick up some books to read.
Okay. So you head to Zambria's house and you go and collect some journals, some books, paleontology, archaeology, all the goods.
I find them incredibly boring, but she enjoys them, so...
Have I had a Sky Seer dream recently?
Yes, you had one at the end of last adventure, didn't you? Did I give you that one?
You said that I will, but you didn't go
Yes.
for it.
Okay, so you do. Let me pull this up.
Can I have information of that dream?
Oh, why is this not here? Okay, so you do have a vision. Also, could I have Malzin and Adaeus just putting in brackets after your class what theme you are using, what Zeitgeist theme you have. So for example, like Dimitri's got cleric brackets eschatologist, Ryla's executioner brackets gunsmith. If you guys could check just after wizard and your hybrid class, what you have.
Martial scientist.
Ooh, another one. Okay.
Although I consider it more art than science. A martial artist, if you will.
Boy. Also, sorry, my computer crashed and it decided that this was a good time to do updates, so I have to use my phone for a little bit.
You
I can make
phony.
any rolls you need to.
Thank you.
So no more Sky Series. Alright, so Orzhov. Probably in the days after the attack on the RHC, you had a vision where you lie back on the sentient grass. It sways around you in gluttonous breeze. You realize that you are on the plane of Gidim, or the planet of Gidim. You ponder the heavens and your curiosity satiates the grass. Above you float flames and waves and wind and stone, but not the same you saw when you looked up as a child. They trace through foreign paths and hum with impossible futures. You cannot read their fate. Beneath the alien sky, a plume of steam, drawing a line across the land, grows beneath you. Nothing is certain. Nothing is written. That's your vision.
Interesting. Can I have that in text so I can save it?
Sure. All right. I'll give that to you probably afterwards, though, because it's not already written in. I'm terrible at building things.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Okay. Yeah, leaving on the boat in 4 days. Sorry. So it's a 2-week trip to Beaumont, and then you'll be on the train. I just had to read ahead.
I'll just go pray. Give my respects to the deceased elder Skyseer at the
Lord
cloud top or
Hewitt
whatever.
Session.
Yeah.
Did his name get cleared, or was he still considered a terrorist?
You guys did want his name cleared. It'll be working towards that. He's not the hot topic at the moment, so it might be in your interest to let it cool off some more before trying to clear it. Just while big activities like what happened in Flint aren't A, related to you at the moment, even falsely, and B, still fresh in everyone's mind.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll just go pray. Give my respects. I don't know why I want to say the word pray.
You're just having a real spiritual experience, buddy.
Of course. I just had that dream, so spiritual. And I guess go to the library and see what books I can get out and get them.
All right. You go. Roll me a library use. Wait, this isn't Cthulhu. Okay. All right. So you head to the library. There's very little on Gidim itself. Only sort of astrological books that mention it in passing, rather than anything that details a whole heck of a lot. It's more like where Gidim is placed in the stars, that sort of thing. Not much about Gidim itself. A couple of days go by. You guys get your belongings, and you receive a missive from Delph. This is a day earlier than you expected to leave, and this missive asks you to meet him aboard your ship.
It's not early in the morning, is it?
No, it's normal day.
Then I'm there.
Yeah, I guess I'll head over there too.
Do we want to check out any of what's his name again? The gangster guy.
Looking cat.
Yeah. Any of his places to get some info on him before we leave this city?
You'll
Has
be
he
coming back to
been-
Flint at some point.
I mean, before the meeting, so to speak, rather than.
Has he had much to do with the last adventure? Like, I don't think we really heard much about him recently.
I'm assuming he was the one that thing wrote the note to. Saxby wrote the note to.
Oh yeah, because it was Mark K.
His goons were hired to attack you.
So my character / I am assuming that he might have something to do with this meeting and or be at it.
So you got a couple of days. So what did you have in mind?
Just some surveillance to see if he is also preparing to leave and see what, maybe try to find out how much he's preparing to leave. Is he taking a couple of bodyguards with him or, a lot of shit with him type thing?
Alright. Roll me a couple of streetwise. So,
Sure.
not you rolling a couple, but a couple of people rolling streetwise.
Oh, good, because I'm with nature. I'm not with streets.
I have a pretty decent one if you want to roll it for me, Spite.
Alright, sweet.
Thank you.
Nice. 27. And 19. Alright, so you guys start talking with your contact. Orzov, you start talking with the eco-terrorists that you know. The sky seers that you know, anyone that's on the other side of the law, people that might have any sort of doings with Lork and Kel or be at odds with them perhaps. Ryla, you start talking to your informants, people you know in areas. Malzin, whether you're talking to people directly, talking to your own set of informants, entirely up to you. But you guys all gather information that Lork and Kel has been abnormally active in certain areas of the city. Nothing indicates that he is looking to leave or go to a meeting. In fact, the information you get is that he is basically increasing his activities in the wake of the downturn of RHC interference in the city. Whilst they've been
So who's this
predisposed-
guy, by the way?
Lork and Kel is a crime boss, basically a semi-mafia in the city of Flint. So he's
Yeah,
been
he's-
ramping up his activities after the RHC's been busy with their attack, and some of their more prominent crew, which he knows of you definitely, have been taken off the force.
So
Oh,
basically, he's looking to expand his territory here.
Whilst you guys are away.
I guess just pass this information along, maybe to Uranus, and then don't give a shit about it.
Alright, so Specialist
It's up
RHC
to the rest
Officer
of you
Uranus,
guys.
he's
That's
going to
what
go
I
and
suggest.
he makes use of the information, then passes it on to the serious crime unit.
Is there a humorous crime unit? Because I want to be on that one.
I think that's pretty much what you signed up for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on it.
Great!
There's no getting around it, buddy. You're part of that crew. So, do you guys want to head to Delft on the boat? He's on your RNS Impossible.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
So, the reason he's sort of summoned you to your boat, and as soon as you get on it, in fact, Captain Rutger Smith begins moving out of the harbour and out to the coast. Delft informs you that the reason for our conversation is we need to be far from any possible spies. We've uncovered some more information about this conspiracy, this obscurati. They seem rather overconfident in their ability to keep and find out others' secrets. We want to make sure that they don't know how much we've learned, especially ahead of, well, hopefully crashing this gathering. And he looks at you and says, I apologize for not bringing pastries, coffee, or booze. He looks around. Usually I have a spread, but this meeting needed to be as quick and as hush-hush as possible. I have...
That's okay, I have booze. Who wants a flask?
He nods and outstretches his hand to take a big swig. Do you share?
Absolutely. It's one of those stereotypical little silver flasks with
Alright.
twisty top,
He
but it's
takes...
significantly bigger than the normal ones.
Fantastic. He takes quite a big chug of it, and when he passes it back, it's significantly lighter than it was when you passed it to him. But he says, I have the first... thank you for that. I have the first tiny bits of a plan in my head. Obviously, you all know that you need to be on the train. That's all we've had to this point. And it won't work if anyone gets wind of this. Loose lips sink ships, and you, ex-constables and constables alike, you are going overseas to Daenor, where our friends are few and far between. Friends we can trust, that is.
Oh, goody. It'll be just like coming home.
It is coming home in my case.
Are you Daenor and I?
Yes, he is.
Alright. Okay. So, he looks around and he says, I hope you brought everything you needed with you. Because, whilst we plan to leave in 2 days' time, we have in fact just left. The
Dun,
ship-
dun, dun.
dun, dun, dun. This ship will be making its way to Beaumont right now. You'll be catching the train at Beaumont, the same train that Caius would have, and you'll be having to case anyone else on this train. Anyone that joins the train on the trip, anyone that makes it all the way to Vendris, basically. In Vendris, you'll need to recover useful intelligence about the conspiracy, hopefully people that are involved with it, names, faces. If you can catch someone for interrogation, that might just be, well, it might just be the best plan we've got.
So is Dimitri on this boat as well, or was he sort of sent ahead?
You would have already been sent ahead. Yeah, you went ahead with it. You'll be meeting them in Beaumont, basically. So he looks around, Trabro. Not roughing them up until you're sure. Until you've got all the information you can from the train trip. Don't get on in Beaumont and immediately start violently interrogating crew people.
Not my style.
What if the Zambria wants to?
It just looks at you. Zambria?
You know.
The
It's
sock puppet of skin that we found under the RHC?
Yes.
What does she have to do with this?
She might have a hunch, and it would be derelict to not follow it up.
He looks at the others. Is there something I should know?
no, don't worry about it. It's fine. He's just joking around, right, Trabro? Just big kidder.
You know how he is.
Looks back to you, Trabro, with a raised eyebrow.
Oh right, yes. I'm bad shit crazy. Don't mind me.
Right, well that brings me on to my second point. First being secrecy. The second, cover identities. This will be a difficult operation. You're going to need some false identities as you travel through multiple foreign nations. You'll need documents, appropriate attire, and ways to explain your uncanny martial prowess if anyone were to see you get into a fight. We've already organized that you'll be traveling first class through the entire trip. So
Fuck yeah.
Jolly good.
sufficient money tends to make a lot of people look the other way. However, you'll need to come up with names, cover story, anything to disassociate you with the RHC constables that you left behind.
So
I'll be an
drink more
affluent
and be
dandy
rowdy a
out
bit.
to see the world.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that, Olzov?
Drink lots and be rowdy.
He looks to you. Give the image of drinking lots. You'll need all your faculties for this. I don't recommend being drunk. Now look, we also have a number of contingencies. men getting into place, men already in place. We do have agents laying low along the route you'll be taking, but it is almost impossible to coordinate them so that they can be entirely useful without drawing attention. Also, the nation of Riser have access to many resources. With all of the strangeness going on, a lot of that's been directed the RHC's ways. I believe the term is entirely funded. Anything you need, RHC can get it for you.
Wonderful.
You guys should ask if you can take a steam suit on the train.
And mount some knock guns to it.
Perfect.
Anything?
Anything. Anything. Yes. Anything.
Can we get
I
a
feel
bag, boy?
some 18-year-old Scotch would really help complete my image.
Duff nod. Once again, though, faculties in place. Now, the fourth part of this mission, the spycraft itself. I figure you could safely contain your investigation to first and second class passengers. I doubt anyone important enough to be at this meeting for the Obscurati would ride coach. Remember,
Maybe that's what they want you to think.
he looks to you. It wouldn't make sense. The big payoff is Vendrease itself, not the train. So, on that note, be careful not to move too soon, Tribro. You might spook someone who might be, or might have led to more valuable information. Now, you're probably wondering how you're going to get out of Vendrease once all this is done. And that,
Yes.
Yeah.
well, I leave in your capable hands.
Fuck.
Oh.
Do we have funds for that?
It says funds. What funds do you need?
To secure our way back?
He mentions the thousands of gold you received just a couple of days ago and suggests that perhaps that might be enough.
What gold?
Yeah.
He says, I signed the forms myself. You each received 2,000 gold not a week ago.
No idea what you're talking about.
That was before we knew that we had to get a ride back.
Oh dear.
It's true, that is an unforeseen expense.
If we keep the receipt, can we claim it as an expense?
He sort of looks at you. So how much gold did I say you guys had to spend as well?
A lot.
It's in the chat. I pasted it.
That was, yeah,
And
the
the
chat
Zeitgeist.
versions. That's the
in
total,
Discord.
I think.
But that's our total current gold, including all
Alright.
our items since the start.
Okay. So as you say this to Delft, he says, "You're telling me you didn't get those forms?" Well, that's probably because I've got them right here.
Classic
out-
power.
He pulls out some signed stubs of paper. Which let me just do some math real quick. Which gives you all about 5,000 gold each.
Yay.
Now, this gold is not gold you can immediately spend on any item in the thing. This has to follow requisition because you're in the middle of an adventure now. So this will be your incidentals, your spendings, anything you want to buy on the way. This is not free shopping money right now.
Right.
That stuff should have all been done before the adventure. Alright. So it gives you about 5,000 gold pieces each, including the 2 consultant who get, they get their money.
I would hope so.
Otherwise, what the fuck are you consulting for? Now, he does look to Malzahn and Odysseus at the moment and says, "Now, your expertise, your observations, none of that was... Well, none of this was mentioned to you, am I right?"
Not at
Of
all.
what?
He sort of winks at Orza. "Well, you see, this is all very intentional. You two were identified as agents we could trust, based on prior history, and the fact that 6 months of digging, 6 days of digging, didn't bring anything up on either of you. It is no
Of course not.
coincidence that you were assigned to this group. Your skills will be of great use to the party here." Okay, so while you guys are on the boat, there's going to be a quick skill challenge. Yay!
Hello.
Yay.
Skill challenges. So, the skill challenge here is going to be covering your preparation for the Avery Coast train mission.
Oh boy.
Your key skills are bluff, diplomacy, history, insight, intimidate, perception, stealth, and streetwise.
Could you type that somewhere
Yes.
for future remembering?
Or anything else we can bullshit our way into using?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Now, this challenge has 3 goals. It's to meet the 3 targets that Delph, or 3 of the targets Delph just talked about: secrecy, cover identity, and how you're going to organize your contingencies.
All right.
Hey, Spite.
Yes.
Oh, actually, never mind. This basically will just work, I guess, during the skill challenge. But I have this ability called Flawless Disguise. During a short rest, I can craft an excellent disguise that makes me appear to be another humanoid of my race. Gives a +5 bonus to bluff checks against insight. Yeah.
Well, hopefully that'll count as just a success on whatever task you choose to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so please roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
How do we?
So on your main page of your character sheet, bottom right, there's 3 dice windows +5, plus.
Got
I
it.
think Malzahn's 5. Odysseus will be similar. 4. Excellent.
Have you told them about
shoot.
the mini character page thingy, Bob?
No, I haven't. On the bottom left of your main character page, or on every page of your character thing, there's a little mini button. If you click that, it's got like a condensed character sheet that you can't accidentally edit. That has like.
I think I just rolled twice accidentally.
That's right. I'll fix it up. Okay, so on the combat tracker, so you can open this by clicking the 2 crossed swords in the top right, little button. You'll see that your initiative is already filled up, and the group has been put into order. Dimitri, I'm going to say that you can join in on this too, Dimitri, because you would have been like filled in on what you need to do. So your stuff will just be based in Beaumont. So you might be able to do like streetwise and things, because this is like a montage skill challenge rather than a single task thing. All right. So we start with Malzahn. Malzahn, your 3 goals: secrecy, cover identity, and contingency. What do you want to do? What do you want to go towards or work towards? What do you want to do?
Wasn't pushing to talk. I want to start by establishing a great cover identity by being, a wealthy playboy, traveling, seeing the world, little drunk, talking to everyone.
Okay, so you want to rehearse a personality? Roll me an insight check. Or bluff.
Okay.
Or bluff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. So you start getting into the character. You might be, practicing with other members of the crew, people that you haven't met yet, going around trying to introduce yourself, and then sort of checking that all of your things worked, all of your answers to questions work. You don't answer to the wrong name or give the wrong name. You get some pretty good practice in there. It's pretty good. That's a success.
Like any good method actor, I disappear into my character.
Exactly. All right. So next up is Ryla.
Do we have like plans of the train, like the inside and outside exits and such?
Absolutely.
Can I try and like use my ability as actually would that be thievery or stealth? To like if things go wrong, an exit plan basically.
Yep, thievery, fantastic. So you can start working on contingencies. So you're getting a good rundown of the train itself, places, layouts, that sort of thing. Probably a thievery.
Yeah.
All right, and over the course of half a day, you start, penciling out some escape plans, some quick little travel route. You've actually as well earned a resource that you can spend at any point on this train trip. So check this somewhere in your note. That when you expend it, you can come up with a secret passage from anywhere you are in one cart to another adjacent cart. And you can use this at any time.
So
Are
I
we
can
playing
basically
Monopoly?
Yes.
Yes.
I can get from one card to another like just instantly.
Yes. You don't know, like, when you use it, you'll be able to get out of whatever room you are in a cart, and you will appear somewhere in an adjacent cart. You will not control where in the adjacent cart you go, but you can use it anywhere you like, basically. It's
Spend one
that's
hold to
interesting.
discover.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's an interesting resource. And a success. Alright, so, Orzhov, you're up.
I guess for starters, I guess I should dress up first before going out onto the. Wait, is this on the train or before on the boat?
This is on the boat.
More?
This is preparation for the train trip.
Then shit, how I'm going to use perception?
Looking for flaws in the rest of ours shit.
Yeah,
so
I guess,
perception can also be used to practice, looking for spies, locating spies. If you're going to be spending your time faking effort, you want to make sure that these efforts are actually being watched by someone. You can practice how to indicate and detect whether people are watching you or not.
Yeah, I'll do that. For
hand
for
signals.
people watching me or not, because my plan is to pretend to be some sort of sky priest thing, religion,
All right.
priest nature.
Cool. So roll your perception.
Boo.
Boo, indeed. Rip you.
Can he hero point that?
Yeah, if you want.
I have not been reset this session, so currently I have none from that
You guys can do it yourself, my good.
train. Yeah, why not?
There we go.
That's a lot better.
Much better.
Worth it.
Alright, let me change it to a success. Okay.
Talk about 2020 vision.
Haha.
Hey, I get it. Okay. So, yeah, you start getting used to it. You start tailing people around the ship, basically. And in doing so, you figure out the sort of things, the sort of sidelines that someone who's following others might use. And you start basically getting people to, or the spy specialists that are on the ship, to try and chase you and see if you can spot them. Or to follow you and see if you can spot them. And it works. You start getting pretty good at it. Alright, Charbro, you're up.
I want to practice sitting unnoticed, just quietly being inconspicuous in who I am,
Look in the part.
looking the part,
Okay, roll me a
but
bluff.
a bit of stealth. Okay.
a bit of stealth. Yeah, you can do a stealth if you like. So sort of blending into nothingness rather than adopting
Yeah.
a persona. Would you like to hero point it?
18.
It's a
Okay,
little
I'll hero point it then.
late.
Fuck off.
Oh,
I'll keep that.
Okay.
And
still gonna be a fairly
yeah,
DC.
I've got one hero point left.
Okay.
Also, I've still got vulnerability 5 psychic. Do I need to make some saving throws?
Yes, make 2, please.
I guess I'll do the same.
Let's go. Yeah, was on make 2. If you pass the first one, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. Okay, so try as you might, Charbro. You start to make a little bit of headway with it, but it is quite difficult. Your manner of talking that you're unable to hide is quite distinctive and draws a fair bit of attention, despite your best efforts. Perhaps, if you were to truly be stealthful, you might need to just shut up. Okay, and there's this.
Yeah, so a couple things come to mind here. One of which I am okay, but not great at.
Okay.
And that would be looking up information on our destination at the end of this train ride.
All right,
what was
so
that?
Vindris itself?
Vindris itself, yes. That was one thing that came to mind. The other thing was just practicing reading people, reading their expressions and stuff like that, trying to see what's underneath the veil, so to speak.
Okay, so you could either use diplomacy or history for looking up like Vindris, and for looking at people, insight would be the other one. So you can pick one of those.
Diplomacy or history? Okay, that's a lot more appealing because I actually have a power that can help with diplomacy.
All right. Arcane mutterings. All right, so roll the Arcana check.
You do the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, basically you're just calling on your magical ability to help you with this. That might even be just.
Did I actually roll? I don't think I did.
Right, so if you're dragging it, you need to drop it directly on the chat or double click it, and that'll roll it.
There we go. That's
All right.
not great.
Okay, so you can use a hero point. So at the top of your character sheet, you'll see hero point. If you double click on one of those, you can reroll.
All
When
right.
we do that, it gives you a hero point for later, right?
That's better.
No, so I don't gain hero points when you guys spend them. All right, so that is very much a success. Oh, hang on, 1 second. Don't have kids. Okay.
No
So-
problem.
Yeah. If you haven't already, don't do it. It's not too late. So Vindris, you find a little bit about Chrysilla, a little bit of Vindris, and you get a little bit of knowledge on some of the like activist groups that might be there, current political extremists that are there. It's not going to give you any information right now, but put in your notes that you will have a +10 to history or streetwise checks while you are in Vendrees. So chuck that in your notes. And the rest of your party will have a +5, so you guys can chuck that in. But you just put in your notes that you have a +10. Okay, and Dimitri, you're up. So you're in
All right.
Beaumont. What are you doing?
I imagine I'll be, for a start, absorbing all my training on, how to be a marshal, what the rules are, what the responsibilities are, all
Yep.
that stuff. So possibly a history, I guess. I don't know.
That'll be alright. Or I don't know. How's your endurance? Endurance good?
It's pretty meh.
Sounds
Insight.
like insight to me.
Yeah, insight.
Insight. Yeah, insight. Sort of because I'm learning how to be a good marshal.
Getting insight into the role. Would you like
Fuck
to spend
me.
a point?
Yes, please.
Do it.
You got this, buddy. I believe in you.
You can do it. That's better.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Fucking better. You can't do much better than that.
Also, real quick, it might behoove us to exchange our identity names because we're probably gonna have to talk to each other, and obviously don't want to call ourselves by our actual names.
Well, we'll do that on the train because I'm going to be treating you guys as complete strangers.
Yeah.
So because I'm already got sent ahead anyway.
Quick
Not even
question.
here.
What was that +10 towards?
History and streetwise. But only about Chrysilla and only in Chrysilla. Chrysilla, however you say it. It's a silly name.
Tis a silly place.
Fantasy names either have too many vowels or not enough. Like Draka and Chrysilla.
You think fantasy names are bad? Wait till you go to Poland.
Too many K's, too many J's.
The great vowel famine of '88 really wiped them out.
Okay. Alright, so Dimitri, you start getting a real good handle of the role. In fact, this could be something you could do as a full-time gig. It's pretty enjoyable for you.
Yeah.
You feel pretty at ease doing everything that this job involves. Low pressure, low stress. Good pay.
That's probably going to be quite good for Dimitri at this point.
Yeah, you can take your mind off the stresses for the next few days as you just get fully absorbed into the martial role. Okay, and you will have a +5 bonus to any bluff related to your role as a marshal.
Okay.
Oh, and diplomacy, sorry. Bluff and diplomacy. Only related to your role as a marshal.
Alrighty.
Okay. Sorry, Melton, I just realized I didn't give you your first bonus today. Your bluff, your taking on identities, you'll be getting a +5 bonus to bluffs related to your secret identity as well.
I mean, that hardly seems necessary, but okay.
You never know. You never know.
I'm I think I'm gonna coach Trabro a little. Since
Okay.
he seems to be having trouble, I'm gonna help him, instead of trying to get around his stuttering, work it into an identity. Maybe teach him how to look all shy and bookish and scuff his foot and say "aw shucks" and stuff.
Okay. So, insight, perhaps?
How about diplomacy? Since he seems like he might be resistant.
How warm are you to the idea, Trabro?
Me? Not being cooperative? Never. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, diplomacy it is.
God. Actually, that would probably work well also with if you let Zambria take the wheel too.
True.
Here, does Zambria have a stutter?
Probably not.
Alright. So, Malcolm, that'll be a fail. Do you want a hero pointer?
Oh, will it?
DC is 23.
Sure.
Alright, reroll. Very nice.
How many 19s has that made so far?
Like, all of them.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, a 20, 4, 4 19s and a 20 in the skill challenge. Alright. But also equal numbers of 4s and 2s.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Tribro, you sit down with Malzin, who offers you some pointers, some tips, how to incorporate your obvious features of your personality and turn them into something fresh and new. Alright. Riley, you're up.
Much like what Miles did earlier, I'd like to practice my own covered identity, kind of, make sure I don't use the wrong name or use my own history. So like kind of bluff my way through.
Okay, do it. Alright. It's another success. Okay, now let me just check. Everyone got a bonus of some sort for the first round, yeah? You gave out bonuses to everyone?
What bonus did you give me? I can't remember.
What was your skill? Check.
Perception.
I don't think he got one.
No, I don't think so. You'll have a bonus on perception and insight for
Sweet.
people that are paying undue attention to you.
Mhm.
And it's a +5. Okay, so the second round, no one's getting any bonuses as well, so don't worry about that. Just need to make sure that everyone got one on their first round. Okay, Orzov, you're up.
I'm just gonna practice remembering the planes and the stars for my gonna be identity of a priest that's gonna talk about the different planes.
Okay,
Maybe taking a little bit from Dimitri's book about how the world's gonna end.
so maybe a bit of
Relation.
religion there.
Shit. What is my religion? I mean,
Or nature, if you're focusing on the star side more than the eschatology side.
focusing definitely more on the star side since
Okay.
Sky Seer.
Alright,
Fuck,
Jason,
that's
reroll. Gonna
Yeah,
make you guys
I'm a
burn all your
Sky-
hero points before you even get to fucking Beaumont.
I'm a Sky Seer. I can't be that. I'm not gonna let myself
Oh.
be. I
Are
don't
you
care.
sure
dude.
you're a Sky Seer?
I quit as a Sky Seer.
You know what? Fuck this guy.
Well, that's good. I'm making up a religion, so should be bad at it because I know proper Sky Seeing. There we go. That's my excuse.
Okay. So
There
there's
you go,
very
it works
very
out.
little that you manage to get out of. In fact, you feel very unfulfilled towards the end of your journey. Your Sky Seeing is not as satisfying as it once was. You feel your questions are left unanswered more so than usual. Try, bro.
I think I'm going to observe what I've been taught very closely.
Not that close.
Are you fucking serious?
Would you like to spend your last hero point?
Fuck yeah.
Ah!
Fuck off, I'm going
Oh
home.
no!
Oh man,
Okay.
that's rough.
So
Can I set out Melzen as my Oath of Enmity target, please?
wrong side. Yes, on attack versus him.
Jesus.
So try as you might, Zambria spends a lot of the time at the forefront, stopping Tribro from getting much use out of these lessons, and Zambria benefits very little from how not to lisp, how not to stutter, because she doesn't have either of those things. All
God
right,
damn it.
Adaisis.
1 second, munching on something.
It's like me with the Skittles yesterday, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So, nom 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 nom. Hang on. Nom 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 nom.
So, so I'm going to do. Let's practice that little. Let's put that insight to practice. Let's try and get all warmed up for this investigation stuff.
Okay. Start running around testing everyone. Alright, you gonna skill point it? Are you gonna hero point it?
I am not. I want to save a couple.
Okay. So, towards the end of the trip, when you guys are getting close to Beaumont, your attentions are waning. You're getting overloaded by all of the preparation. This sort of work is it's not usually something you all take on so suddenly and so heavily in one short period of time. And it's proving a bit much for a lot of you. You guys better get some successes. You better not fail the skill challenge. Alright, Dimitri, yeah.
All right. Once I get a handle on the marshal position, I might start sort of delving into some more, obscure Denoran, Drakkar, and Crysilla lore. Like if I need an excuse to detain someone suspicious, it might be handy to know if there's some old law on the books that it's actually illegal to wear green on a Tuesday or something. So
Okay.
maybe a history check.
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck me. Hero point.
Alright.
Uh,
Oh no!
Made it out of it.
There it is.
Okay.
Oh god, we're gonna have no hero points.
Speak for yourself. I got 2 still.
Some people are holding on to
I'll fail this thing. Don't you worry. But
Okay.
I'll still have hero points for it.
Alright, Dimitri, so yeah, you start to get some, useful lore. Basically, you just start doing case law study of Crysilla for what you can over in Danor. It's limited, but it's helpful at least. And, oh no, sorry, you're doing Danor, aren't you, not Crysilla?
I was sort of doing the places we're going to be traveling through, kind of. So
Oh, okay, right. So you start to realize, or like, the different areas, the different laws, the different jurisdictions, that sort of thing. You do find out that on the train is considered Danor land everywhere it travels.
okay,
For
so
the purposes of
I'll probably focus on Denoran lore in that case.
It's, just to be clear, it's not Denoran land like an embassy. You can't run onto it and be like, oh, I'm in Danor, ha ha ha. But for the purposes of jurisdiction, if a crime occurs on the train, it's occurring in Danor. Like, you have the right to arrest someone
Yep,
as if they
that
were
makes sense.
Alright. Now, Malzin. It's gonna spoil you guys. You need 2 more successes before 2 more fails.
I think at this point, Malzin is going to be practicing covering for the others.
Alright. Bit of diplomacy. Bluff, fast talk.
I think bluff is the way to go here.
Alrighty. That'll do it. Okay. So you do, the time you're spending with them, you start to start formulating in your head some cover plans like, no, he's an escaped hospital attendee, yeah, that sort of thing. Just things that might be fitting for this group of misfits that you're running with.
There you are. Auntie says you shouldn't be left alone.
Alright. Ryla.
I'd like to practice kind of stalking targets without them noticing I'm there, kind of following, eavesdropping, that sort of thing, kind of stealthily.
Alright. Stealth. Do it.
Okay. Still a success.
Okay. That's better than your fail last time.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is 10 successes. However, your guys' goals have all been about your COVID identities and spycraft. You have been missing a lot of contingencies stuff. The ones that were directed at contingencies were mostly failures. However, your secrecy and your cover identities are very strong. You guys also have your bonuses that you were given. You have succeeded the skill challenge, and in that you all gain 1 hero point, which I'll put in.
I'm like,
Yay.
consistency is, just combat, right? Right, guys? Right?
Let's
That
just
is a
not fuck up.
contingency, murder everyone.
I mean, we don't need a contingency if we don't fail.
It's true.
He's right.
Oh boy.
It is true. So you guys arrive at Beaumont Port, or just out of Beaumont Port, I should say. Now, the secret identities. Did you guys want to come up with your own, like, as players, or do you just want to use some given ones?
I kind of came up with a little thing.
All right. Let me just.
That's
check
the
it.
ID.
What are the giver ones like? What do they give you in terms of identity-wise?
Royston Porter, a veteran of the Fourth USL War, turned landowner in the southwestern Rosario province of Blackgap, now touring the Avery coast with his bodyguards and former war buddy. Gary Normanson, a war buddy of Royston's, Tristan Wolfe, another war buddy, Scotty Butcher, a mage bodyguard hired to check for compulsions and illusions, and Chet Foster, a foreign manservant.
Okay.
Does anyone want any of those, or are you guys happy to come up with your own? Looks like you've got one. Someone's crossed both.
Yeah, that's me. So, can I still be Dimitri, or am I supposed to just be undercover as a random RHC person? Or I guess
That's
would I
up
be?
to you.
I mean, it kind of makes. I almost, I think it probably would actually make sense, and but the vents obviously fired all my compatriots, and
Moved
maybe
you
I was
off.
considered. Yeah, and it looks like maybe I was just booted off to now just be a train marshal. So I think it kind of makes sense. I could still be Dimitri.
The only thing is, it might seem a little bit odd that someone who is giving the obscurity trouble in Flint is now on a train that potentially is going to be filled with obscurity.
That's true. I just don't know. I've actually got surprisingly okay-ish bluff. I just kind of thought there can't be that many, old dwarven RHC officers that are fanatical eschatologists.
There's a whole division of them.
Back, sorry.
But yeah, I could probably, I guess, try and be someone else if I want to. But yeah, I don't think deception's really something that Dimitri's the best at.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I might just appear extra grumpy as if I'm really pissed off that I'm obviously gonna look like I'm absolutely hating this assignment.
All right. Just gonna hope to just to bluff it out, basically. Wow,
Yeah,
what a coincidence! What a coincidence!
Zumbria, yes, that is fantastic.
Zumbria. Oh shit. It's gonna be good. Zumbria? That's a name that sounds familiar.
No, it's totally different.
There's no relation to the Zambria that you know.
Harry Death
mean,
Zambrio. Alright, so we got Zumbrio, the archaeologist from Riser, Quinn, the mercenary for hire during the Fourth USL War, and Severian Tellerond Ash, of the Highland Tellerond Ashes, You've heard of me.
Rather.
And Suciadi, an artificer in training, which is a backwards of your name.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna call you Susie. Alright, so can you guys
Sounds good.
change your character names on Fantasy Grounds to match your identities that you're taking on?
Zumbria, holy shit. Oh, I love it.
Also, good point. I just remembered. On Discord, just while you're in the game, can you change your Discord name to reflect your actual character name? So like Ryla, Orzov, Dimitri, and Trabro. So nuclear and anemone, can you change it to Idiosis and Odazis and Malzin?
Sure.
You can change it back again later. Just right click, change.
How?
Right click on yourself and change nickname. Doesn't change your Discord account or anything. It's just literally your nickname while you're in here. Okie dokie, schmug. Now, just to cover some housekeeping of this journey, you guys, despite being not focusing on contingencies during the skill challenge, you did succeed. So this gives you a couple of things where each of you get. Now this is stolen wholesale from another game, basically. It's called "Of Course I Planned for That." So each of you have one of these "Of Course I Planned for That" cards to pull at any time. That if you come up with a reasonable thing that you could have planned for in advance, like whether it be an item, a piece of equipment, like another passport or some fake wallet or some sleeping powder, something like that. You don't have to know about it now. It is something you can do later on at any point to be like, no, I planned for this contingency, and have that happen. Obviously, it's not going to be like, no, I put a nuke underneath the train and everyone dies. Of course I planned ahead. But within
Right.
reason. Like something you would have, or you can convince me that you would have planned for in advance, and you have one of these to spend. It's not going to be much. So you each have one of those for this train journey, including you, Dimitri. Do you all understand what I mean by that?
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, as you guys are floating off the coast of Beaumont, Dimitri, you've been called to the RNS Impossible the day before everyone's due to land and land on shore and get ready to get on the train. Do you want to come out to meet everyone, catch up and share planning, etc.?
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. If I've been called there, I'll definitely go.
All right. So you make your way out to the RNS Impossible where you meet them, and this is the day before the train is due to leave. So you guys are about 24 hours away from loading, and you start to fill in each other, share plans, organize equipment, make sure everything's in place. When there's a ship that comes off the side of the RNS Impossible, a little closer than closer than you'd like, a little bit too close for comfort. There is an alert shouted out from one of the crow's nests on the RNS Impossible, up on the side of one of the smokestacks, and one of the men shouts down, "It's a low-lying steamer. She's coming within. Looks like she'll be making 50 feet of us." And he gestures off the side of the boat, and you see this low-lying steamer coming across. I'll give you a little picture here.
Ah, the dreaded Cleveland steamer.
Dreaded?
Oh boy.
It's the ship in front. This ship is sort of making a beeline right for the RNS Impossible. You can see a few people milling around on it, but they're a bit too far away, and they're not making themselves terribly easy to see. But roll me a perception, anyone who's having a look at this ship. Okay, Zumbrio and Quinn. You each notice as the ship gets closer and closer. Oh, and Severia. I'm calling you guys the names there. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Getting immersed. You guys see behind the ship, the second ship in the picture, except it's almost entirely translucent. and you only catch a glimmer of it. You notice that there are actually 2 ships on fast approach to you, and the slight glimmer you see, you catch the movement of people on the ship, and you see several men lining up along the side of the ship. And as it gets close, as they both get close, the bigger ship behind turns to bring its broadside alongside your ship. You have but moments to prepare as you see men preparing cannons to fire upon the RNS Impossible.
So wait, are
Son
they
of a
still
bitch.
out at sea?
Just off the port, basically.
Okay, so I would have, I guess, just gone in a wee little runner
Yeah.
or something out to them. Do a routine inspection or something, I suppose.
Basically, yeah.
Uh,
No one's going to be paying
What-
a terrible amount of attention to you at the moment anyway, because you've just been basically here on Beaumont, keeping a low head, preparing.
I mean, I'd consider this a hostile action, so maybe we should turn our own cannons on that ship.
I'm like, dive, dive, dive. This is a submarine, right?
Rutger Smith, as soon as you say that, Ryla, he starts ringing a bell on the deck and indicating that everyone should get to their battle stations. Please roll me initiative, everyone.
You. Nice.
Anyone want to swap?
I'll
You can
swap.
yell at him, buddy.
I need to get improved initiative.
Alright, so let me share the RNS Impossible. Oh, do I not have it set up? I thought I'd given you the stats for the RNS Impossible already.
I don't think so.
So, major question here. Just how far off the coast of Danor are we?
About 5 kilometers within sight, but not too far off.
Is it close enough for us to be in a dead magic zone?
No, the Dead Magic Zone's more towards the Malice Lands. You're over on the western coast.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure.
So there's considerably less magic stuff here, but most of the dead magic borders on the Malice Land and sort of bleeds over into Daenor and Draco on either side. Okay, motherfucker. All right, so the map that I thought I had, or the image that I thought I had, is not there. Let me just grab that again. Gonna take me a moment. Go and grab a drink. I'll be a couple of minutes setting this up.
Okie dokie.
Ah, here we go.
It says crew of 40? Dang.
So wait. I mean, I guess I get it thematically, but isn't this supposed to be like their like crowning achievement of technological wonder?
No, that was the
That was the coal.
We scuttled that one, remember?
That
this
was
is just the
Oh.
faster one.
That's right. That was the coal tongue or whatever, yeah?
Yeah, the coal tongue that had the brand, the fire brand on the front.
I'm so proud of that achievement of scuttling it.
I'm not in this particular case. That'd be a cool shit to have if we could have it. But it's done
saved
and
it.
gone and dead.
I mean, if they had it, I still wouldn't entrust it to us, even if we did fully save it.
Yeah. And, you know, to be fair, Uranus did get wrenched pretty hard trying to scuttle that ship, so I mean, why should I take that away from him?
It's gonna be a huge map. It'll probably crash everything. Actually, it looks like it. Did that share like a tall map to you?
Yep.
It's all map.
Yes.
Oh, awesome! It shares it the size I do it at. So I've resized it. That's actually like fucking massive.
That's what she said.
So, anyone here familiar with naval combat?
Not in the slightest.
Yes, it's teleport over to their ship and kill the crew.
Yes, scuttle ships.
This is where we do the insult fighting, like from Monkey Island, right?
Think there's gonna be a little more cannon fire.
So these icons, I'm sorry, they're gonna have to be all the same icon because I haven't got them all loaded. I'm terrible at this game.
It's okay, buddy.
Gotta have a look around. I think I've got a bunch of ship tokens.
Ah, that's alright. This will do for now. It's only a little one. You guys are the bigger boat up the top. The little boats coming at you are the little boat. Now, see if we remember how to do the fucking boat fight.
No.
Okay, during naval combat, each PC chooses one officer role. The captain, the navigator, a gunner, an engineer, a lookout, and you can have anyone taking more of those roles except for captain. Only one person can be a captain at a time.
Ooh, I'll be engineer.
Okay.
Captain's the one that needs charisma, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, I guess I'll gun, because that's what I do.
So, is that actually our characters taking on that role, or is it basically we're playing an NPC in addition to our normal character?
Sort of
'Cause
your
obviously-
character's taking on that role. Captain Rutger Smith is there, but he's also like, you can be commanding him what to do. He will defer to you as well. So it's you filling in the tasks, and they're just named that role. You don't then become the navigational officer of the RNS Impossible, but for the purposes of this fight, you'll be providing bonuses to that area.
Yep.
Okay, each naval turn is a few minutes long and consists of 5 phases: maneuvers, location, terrain, bearing, and attack. So, roll initiative. All ships act simultaneously. Actually, you don't even need to roll initiative then. You just need to choose each round what you're going to be doing. So, maneuvers are chosen at the start of the round and affect your rolls throughout the rest of the round. Simple maneuvers let you trade a -5 to one roll from +2 to another, like full speed ahead, which gives you a -5 to your command check during the bearing phase, but +2 to your check during the location phase. Wow, that sounds really complicated. Way more complicated than I thought. Okay, so first, what do you guys want to be doing movement-wise? Your ship's currently not moving. So the captain decides the ship's movement.
What are your orders, Captain?
Well, if they've got cannons pointed at us, we want those cannons to not be pointed at us, so let's maneuver around so our cannons are pointed at them, but not vice versa.
Sir, yes, sir.
Hi.
Hi, Capitan. Okay, so to draw arrows on the map, which you're going to need to do to sort of indicate where you want to move and stuff.
Follow my lead.
Left
I've
click
played
and-
many a naval-themed board game.
Yeah, left click and right click together and drag the mouse, and that'll draw an arrow. You can use that
Would it be worth locking tokens in this case, maybe? Anyway, we could just drag it.
Yes, good point. Drag the boat where you'd like to go.
That's our boat, right?
Okay. There we go now. Right.
So our cannons are on the main deck to each broadside. So if we want to be gunning against them, we probably want to be broadsiding them as well. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Got 11 light cannons. No big cannons. Which is just as well because you're fighting a little ship.
So is that okay? Just to be clear, because I'm probably misreading this, but is it 11 on each side, or basically split up like?
To each broadside.
So yeah, so 11 on each side. Okay, cool.
Yeah, 11 on each side. Okay. So who's going to be acting as the bosun? So the bosun relays orders to the crew and directs them while working alongside them. So he's listening to the captain relaying orders. Does anyone do it?
That sounds like a job for a
Sure.
diplomacy person.
Hmm.
Diplomacy or intimidate will work well for this role.
You're good at intimidating people, right, Chopper?
I am better at intimidating than diplomacy, yes.
Because I'm crap at both. I can tell you that.
Rightio. I'll be
Oh
the
boy.
spooky man.
Bosun Zumbrio.
Zumbria. Oh my god.
Good.
Zambia, I choose you.
Okay, so the boat's going to be going that way along the broadside, and they're going to be going along that way and that way. It's the direction they were traveling. So, as the movement phase finishes, or resolves, the two ships begin to move in lockstep. Do you want to rotate your ship, or do you want to try and ram it?
Does this ship have a ram?
No.
Oh.
It is the bigger ship, but it's whether or not you want to try and play chicken. This will severely damage your ship too.
Suggest maybe not, not destroying our ship at the first opportunity we get.
Yeah. Don't make my job any harder, please.
Okay, so the two ships will both turn and become upside each other. The broadsides just become alongside one another. Which comes to the second part of the round, which is the location. Now you've done approaching the enemy. Jason. Okay, so at this point, the captain will roll a command check. So roll a d20, and you've got a captain, so you don't have a minus to it at all.
Oh.
No, that's all right, because it's not that big of a deal. Now the bosun, roll me a diplomacy or intimidate check. Okay, that's not too bad. So you undo a little bit of
the bosun.
You do. You pass off some iffy orders, but thankfully Zumbrio clears it up a little bit and tells everyone to do the right thing and avoiding a ship catastrophe of driving into the enemy. You don't.
It was going to be glorious.
It was going to be glorious. Just go that way, I guess. And the bosun tells everyone to actually turn. Okay, so who's the gunner?
Howdy-ho.
Okay. So now we're up to terrain phase. There's no dangerous terrain here. The bearing. Sorry, this is shit. Roll me a d20, please, +5 if you are trained. No, just +5 because you're a gunner.
Okay. That's bad. I'm gonna
that is
hero
bad.
that.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so you manage to fire the weapons while the firing arc is aligned with that gun, with that ship. Sorry. Now roll me a 1d10 to see where your cannons hit the ship.
Okay.
All right, so you smash into miscellaneous hull. So you slam into the hull of the ship with your cannons. You have 8 cannons that do
8 cannons.
8 cannons.
Thought it was 8 for fore or aft and 11 for broadside, or is that something different?
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, it is 11. Sorry, I misread.
That's all good.
So 11 cannons will hit the hull. Alright, so their ship begins to list as you put enough damage into the hull to basically breach its integrity and cause it to take on water. However, it is going to exchange fire as well with you. and their gunner is going to fire back. +5, so 17. So they managed to exchange. They've only got 7 cannons on this side, and so they slam into the side of your ship, pop in a few holes, but you don't take much damage because your defense is 25.
Okay.
So 25 times. Yeah, you only take 1 hull integrity damage. Their defense is 6, so they took it all.
Right, so our attack for broadside is +11.
Yes.
Yeah. With the +5 because he's a gunner, so that's how it works. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. This seems like a whole lot of effort for not a whole lot of fun. I think maybe.
Having a good time.
Having a good time.
I think I might just move this one along, and I'll do some practice runs with a couple of people outside of game to try and get this down. There's more ship fighting in this adventure, but it's not clear how it's working to me yet. So I don't think it's gonna.
Would also be nice if we could have a thing of the boat rules type things to look over before starting a boat fight as well.
I have shared it, the Admiral of the High Seas. I'll share it again though in the chat. But yeah, it's just going to be me reading this slowly again because I thought it made sense, but actually it doesn't. Okay.
I know that
So
feeling.
anyway, you definitely smashed the shit out of that boat. So we can just say the other one is going to pull off. It's supposed to be just a little boat skirmish of these 2 boats trying to do some damage to the Impossible and scare you off a bit. But you deal with one quickly and you take very minimal damage. That the other one fires a salvo of cannon shots, which barely scrape your aft armor of the ship. And once you bring around your own cannons to bear on it, it quickly begins to steam away. Do you want to chase it down? You are the fastest ship in the West. You could easily chase it down if you wanted to. But it is running, basically.
What about the other one we fucked up? Can we maybe circle around and try and fish some people out and find out what their deal
Absolutely.
is?
There'll be people jumping overboard right now. If you want to do that, try and capture some of them.
Let's get them.
That seems like a good idea.
Okay. So you move close to the boat. You can see there's a couple of rowboats, little longboats that people are loading up with those who have survived, those who are jumping overboard as the ship. The hull begins to go just below the level of the water. It's at this point that it'll start to accelerate quickly and take the whole boat under very shortly. And how do you want to get them? Do you just want to tell them to surrender and you'll bring them on board? Or you just want to stop their little boat from leaving and yell over the edge to them? How do you guys want to do this? There's probably around 30 people here.
We can throw them some ropes, right?
Yeah, maybe throw them a rope and also train a cannon on them at the same time. I think they can probably put 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you throw a rope to the 2 longboats that are there, and they sort of come over, and they're a couple of people. Don't shoot us. We do surrender. You pull them up. The person who is talking identifies himself as Jerial, and he says he is the captain of the ship you just sunk, known as the Canis.
You want to ask them why they decided they wanted to pick a fight with us?
Why do you think this was a good idea?
Sticks up his nose and says, "No, I don't want to share that information with you."
So, Jerry. Can I call you Jerry? I'm going to call you Jerry. You might want to start thinking about cooperating. My friends here aren't the most pleasant sorts.
He laughed. What? Think you threatened me?
I'm gonna feed you this chain!
I'm gonna
I'm gonna push aside. You see Adasis for the first time actually pushes glasses up to the bridge of his nose. Back into position. I think you'll find.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. But
That's right. I imagine he's not going to trail off mid sentence.
no, he's not going to trail off in sentence. No.
I think you'll find dramatic pause.
That
Oh shit! Did I say it out loud again?
that we can be quite accommodating to you if you will just speak up. Much more accommodating than a cell. That's the word I want to say. It's going to be a
Or an intimidate. Oh no, yeah. If you're sort of trying to talk him around to it, roll a diplomacy.
sorry, I had my thing off. Yeah, burning suggestion. So I'm using Arcana. Glasses give me +2 to diplomacy.
Okay.
And you have +2 for me being nearby.
So 29.
So 29.
Okay. He sort of looks to you and he says, "You can put me in a cell. You can put my men in a cell. The Obscurity sends their regards." And he opens his jacket and pulls out
before he does
pistol.
that. No, before he does that.
Yep. Or as he does it.
It's time to burn the daily power.
Okay, so what he does.
On my glasses.
Alright, what are those? The Eyes of Charming. Oh, very nice. Okay, roll it. So
Eyes level +5. That's
plus 11
plus
first will.
+11. How should I roll that?
So just grab in the bottom left. There's a modifier box. Just click
Okay.
that 0, type 11, and then roll a d20 in the chat.
Nice.
Ooh, very nice.
Nice.
So he just says the Obscurity sends their regards, opens his jacket, and then stops. What do you want him to do?
You will tell us what you know.
He pauses. I will tell you what I know.
Adult boy, Jerry. I knew you had it in you.
Straight up Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah, what was that power again?
The item's called Eyes of Charming,
Nice.
and they will dominate someone once a day.
So we're not cutting his toes off?
No need.
Not yet.
So he's
Damn.
still holding
Oh.
the butt of the pistol, as he says, "We were paid by the Obscurity
Oh, can I grab his pistol?
to kill the RHC." You can grab his pistol. He'll hold onto it because he's not beholden to you, and he'll try to stop you from taking it.
The pistol go, man.
Okay. So he tells you that much, and you tell him to drop his pistol. There's going to be a saving throw at this point now, because that's a couple of actions. You only really get one action for dominated per turn, but
Right.
so that's going to be his first saving. All right. So you start to see his face, confusion coming over it, and with Orzhov, your hand is on the pistol, and he's sort of bringing it closer, trying to force it round to you at this point. You know that he's no longer under your complete control, but he has told you that the Obscurity has paid him, or his crew, or both, to stop the RHC.
It was. Did you say? I thought it was somebody else who grabbed the pistol.
Yeah, sorry, Orzhov grabbed the pistol, but you've lost control of him. So go ahead and roll me initiative, please.
All right.
As we find ourselves on the hull of the ship.
God, that 20 from last time was useless. Didn't even use it.
Oh, poor Orzhov. It's okay, buddy. I believe in you.
Also, I'll share the picture of him because He's pretty cool looking.
Pretty rugged looking dude.
Oh, Jeriel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a
Very
couple of his officers and men behind him as well, who will reach for their weapons in a last-ditch effort to take your lives.
What's the
Go
point
ahead
trying to kill
and
us when you guys will die? If you do.
maybe they think they have a better chance on your ship than facing it ship. So you guys can place yourself anywhere in that yellow square. Jeriel is standing here, his men are behind him. I'm just putting them on the map.
Yeah, it's fine.
There we go.
Spy.
Yes.
Do all your creatures lose a HP because that box is half in the square?
No.
Just teasing.
I know. Lucky you can see the ones that are invisible. They're like all in half square.
There, on a full square now.
So, they're sort of spilling up the longboat at this point, rallying behind Jeriel. As first person to react is Dimitri. You can see this going fully south.
All right.
Oh, that's not good.
Wait, Dimitri's on the boat?
He is now.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been here the whole time.
So I guess I'll head up to I'll head up to this guy and I'm gonna do a inevitable doom on him
Okay.
and tell him that and basically give sort of pretty much my normal spiel. Though maybe not the under arrest. I'll just say should probably think about what you're doing. But so actually, do I have to do a roll for inevitable doom? I can't remember. Nope, it just happens. So next person that so he gets damaged on the next hit.
Okay. And who is that it is? Jeriel.
Captain Giral.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm basically just going to try and sort of tell him, try and tell him not to try this for his sake as I doom him.
Well, he told us who he's working for, so not sure if he's gonna have much more information for us because he literally just told us. So,
Poor old Jeriel.
I'll shift to part of the action.
Okay. So, as the cry of battle rings out from Jeriel, you've already got your pistol out with a quick poof, to the one that Dimitri's. So, an extra 2d8 damage on top of that as well. So,
That's when he. Oh no, it is. Yeah, it is 2d8. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was.
just go ahead and roll 2d8, and I'll drag that onto it.
I've just done it like that.
Sweet.
It's easier to do.
Alright. And in reaction, he. So he pulls out his pistol, and with his other hand, he pulls out a net, and he goes to throw that net onto you, Dimitri. So that hits. You are restrained as the net falls down upon you, and he shouts out, "Bring him down!" And you can have a -5 to attack. And that's going to be his turn. And sorry, no, and his pistol attack over. Why is it called? Hang
Does that mean everyone next to him gets an opportunity attack?
on. Let's have a look. Yes.
Yay!
Including me being netted.
Yes,
Wait,
you just have a
does that
-2.
include me?
Anyone that can make an opportunity attack can make an opportunity attack.
I guess I hit him with my book.
Is this against the captain?
Yes, Jeriel.
I don't think that hits.
No, I don't think it does. It misses.
So, no, can't use that.
I can't do a ranged opportunity attack, so I guess I'll just sit back here.
Oh, one hit.
Oh, wait.
And 16 damage. Very nice. Okay, so he is bloodied from the onslaught of attacks as he pulls out a pistol and shoots Dimitri at point blank range. And that is going to be his turn. Haha, no, he's going to be even worse.
He's going to move.
He's going to recoup 4 of that damage. And his officer's going to take 4 of that damage as they switch places. So that was just on the last hit, the Virtuous Strike. That smashes into the officer instead of, or part of it, into the officer instead of to Jerry. And he avoids some damage and moves out of the way. Zumbrio.
Oh, sorry.
On
I'd
guard!
like to do a reaction to his attack too.
Yep, sure.
I'm going to use Price of Violence, and he'll be blind.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I've got to hit him first, which was at a -2, you said. Has that been taken into account? I've got
Yes,
the
yeah, restraint is
-5.
on you.
Alright, so... Fuck.
Alright. Alright, Trevor, you're
Right. First things first, I'll mark him as my oath target.
Okay.
And put it on myself. That's fine. I will use my chain reach weapon. So I can make a melee basic attack from 5 squares away.
God damn.
Because fuck this
Nice.
guy. But I miss.
That's like a chainsword.
Spike chain.
Do you also get 2 rolls? Or no, because he's got some next time.
I have to be next to him. And I'll go 1, 2, 3. That's a minor action. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll provoke an opportunity attack from the officer getting in there.
Okay, he's going to take his attack. He's going to hit. And you take
And
minus
because
2
I
from
got
the
hit
Virtuous.
by someone that isn't my Oath of Enmity, I gain 5 of that back because I resist 5.
Alright.
And what's the penalty? -5 to attack, -2.
-2.
That's fine.
As he slashes at you with a saber.
Yeah. And I will use Menacing Presence.
Whew.
Wow,
Woof.
nice.
Because 3 weapon damage, and I use 2d4 weapon.
He's going to reduce it by 4.
Okay.
And,
But everyone adjacent to me has.
and that crewman just dies. Number
Okay.
11 just he's a minion, so he takes 4 damage and yeah.
The officer
dies.
now has -2 AC,
Okay.
and he moved away from me. Did he?
No, he swapped places. It's
Is
shift
that not a
does
move?
provoke opportunity attacks now. Plus
He moved away from me willingly, though.
Oh yeah.
I have a thing for that. I gain +2 till the end of my next turn.
Is that Bond of Pursuit?
Censure of Pursuit. And my weapon's a reach weapon, and he's technically only still 1 away, isn't he?
He's 2 away.
So if I was there, I'd be 1 away?
No.
How does...
Wait, you're talking about Jerry,
So-
right? Yeah, there.
Yeah. So it's a reach weapon, I can hit him.
Yes.
But just don't gain the second swing. The second dice roll. So I will use Twin Strike.
Okay. No.
And I end my turn after burning that action point.
Why is there a +8 on your twin strike?
To hit?
No,
I don't know.
On the damage.
I'm not sure.
Because it should just be 1 weapon damage.
Unless it's
Oh, it'll come
from...
from your weapon, maybe?
Yeah, I've got a lot of weapon bonuses.
Oh, you had a damage +5 to him.
Ah,
What's that from?
I don't know.
So it's probably +2.
Oh, from my Censure of Pursuit. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, gotcha. So he moves away, you get +5 damage. Okay, no. Very good.
Yeah.
Alright, is he still alive? Yes, just. Gee. He looks fairly fucked up. He is bleeding very heavily. And his officer is going to shift 1 to here. And he is going to saber attack you. It's going to hit. Just going to do that -2 to attack again. And then he's going to shout for the others to move Jeriel away. This one here is going to do the same. Oh, sorry. I did damage first. So you take the hit, and then you take 11 damage because you resist. -2 is already on, yeah. And the crewmen. They move up. Now, privateer crewman never attacks. Takes a single move action per turn. Can move through its space. Counts as difficult terrain. Aura 3. Any enemy that starts a turn with the aura takes 2 damage. Okay, sweet. So all of the crewmen are just going to pile in as a pile of bodies on all of you.
No problem.
So there. The crusher bodies.
This looks
So
like
that
exactly
one
what
would
I
have got an
want.
opportunity attacks.
Which one?
The ones that have run around us
No. They
to
can
the
move
sides of Dimitri and
around
Orzov.
there, and then to there, and then diagonal.
Oh, you can walk under that big wooden thing.
Is that just a mast, like the platform?
I don't know.
I think it'll be just a platform thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like
Ah.
It's
a
not the
platform.
mast. The masts are the circles.
Well, I mean, he can climb up it anyway. He still has enough movement. He still has an extra square on top of. I don't even know what that is meant to be.
I was actually going to ask that next time I return from camera, but if it's just kind of a feature of the boat.
Based
then-
on the shadow, it doesn't look very big.
I think that's somewhere it's not a token somebody's just placed on it, because with that set you get the bear template, and that's not normally on it, but it's,
Oh, really?
you get movable tokens. So yeah,
I just figured it was a crow's nest. Like up the top of a mast?
There's a separate piece of art for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can sometime after I can show you the customized
Yeah,
ship
absolutely.
done.
Well, that one can come back to here then, if we're worried about it. So that's the crewman, and you will take. How many are within 3 of you?
0 crewmen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 8 points of damage. At the start of your turn.
Which one?
So
Oh, me.
This is their aura. When you start your turn within the aura of each of them, you take 2 damage. It's just the crush of blows, the swinging of blades and guns, but without attack.
Well, let's fix some of that. I'm going to go ahead and drop Phantom Chasm down.
Alright.
Center. So how did I do this again? I kind of forgot already.
Holding shift and left and right click together makes a quick square.
So can you actually see that? I don't know if it's visible, but it's centered around this.
Maybe a square too small. It's area burst 1, right?
Area burst 1, yeah.
Yeah, so it should be about that big, and it's centered on there.
The center officer there. Privateer Officer 12.
Okay, so you're gonna get everyone except for the 3 crewmen on the left.
That's right.
All right, do it.
Is that party friendly?
Yes.
Yeah, enemy in the best. Very much.
So if this screws it up, it's not my fault.
Okay, so you need to target all of them. So just hold control and then left click on each of them. And you'll see on the combat tracker under your name, they'll all be added there as your targets.
Okay, so then now I roll.
Yeah. All right, and now roll damage. And the ones that it missed have already been removed, which is only 1. All right, so some of the crewmen are immediately wrecked. And the captain himself screams out in pain and dies. Too much for his poor addled mind, as the floor appears to disappear, seems to disappear out from under his feet. It's too much for his poor heart to handle, and he dies. Okay, the officers are still alive. As Jeriel goes down, each of the officers are going to have a reaction, and they're going to make an immediate close burst 1 attack.
Oh, okay. And that's going to trigger my bracers of escape there.
Okay.
So I'm going to move back 2 spaces.
So that was reaction or an interrupt that your braces?
Let me look it up again. I think it's reaction.
Haha. Malzahn parries and strikes a dashing swashbuckler pose.
It's a glorious pose.
It is. He's actually outlined in like a faint little bit of light, like he's being backlit.
Just a flutter of wind.
It is an interrupt, but it is also an immediate interrupt, and you can't take immediate actions on your turn.
Oh, I can't.
No, because it's triggering on your turn. You can't use those. So this is still going to hit.
Okay, so in that case, shield's going to go off.
All right. Okay, so hang on, let me see if that'll hit you again then. So it's still hit you even
No.
with shield, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm going to spend a hero point on that.
Oh, and the attack against you.
On my reaction to that attack. Well,
Right.
that didn't help.
Didn't help at all.
No, you know what?
And then number 12's reaction as well. He hits Dimitri,
There we go.
and Dimitri takes another 16 points of damage, becoming bloody. Okay. And so you hit there, and you bloody the officer. Fantastic.
And I dominate the officer.
What are you dominating him with? What's the ability?
Touch of command.
No. And it's a reaction. Okay, so he does get his attack off, and then you dominate him. Okay. So next up, Suzette, is that you? Adas? Adasis? Is that all for your turn? Or do you have any more actions?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ozaf, yeah.
Okay. Against
Oh wait, no. I'm going to shift one space. Sorry.
That's right.
okay, against better judgment. I'm gonna put this on now.
Oh, hang on. You take 1, 2, 4, 8 damage as well.
Still against better judgment. I'm going to go plop.
Okay.
Partly because I want to go where Dimitri is. So, do they get opportunity attacks?
No. The officers will, sorry. Not the crewmen. So the officers will both saber you.
The dominated officer cannot take an opportunity attack.
You're right. He can't, so only one will. And he'll miss.
Sweet. Thank God for that +2 defense against opportunity attacks, or else that would be a hit. I am going to now mark a whole lot of other people with my free action, Nature's Wrath. And this one will get hit with Gale Strike.
Officer 2?
Private Officer 12. And that will get this much damage. And then everyone else takes this much damage. I don't know why I'm doing this individually by dragging it, but easier. And they all slide 1 square. Oops, did I not? Oh, I forgot one. That one also gets damaged. So you just see all those crew members just slide backwards as a burst of wind comes from my sword as I strike into that officer.
Nice.
Whoops, I forgot.
Man, you shredded these dudes.
I suppose dealing another 2 damage to that officer 12 does not matter for trying to kill it in 1 hit.
Another 2 damage?
Yep.
No. But you can do it anyway.
Oh, I can't be bothered.
Okay. I'll add it. I've added it.
Oh, thanks, mate. That makes
You're
me so
welcome,
proud. And yep, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Spherin, you're only going to take 2 damage. As the press of bodies is considerably diminished.
Great.
The crewmen aren't doing shit now. Okay, I bite's a ranged attack here. Is that going to provoke an opportunity attack from the officer? Oh, no, he's
Quick
dominated.
question.
He's dominated. Never mind.
Quick question: are the officers are they stronger minions?
What do you mean stronger? They've taken damage and they're not dead. So yeah.
Takes two hits to kill them.
Oh no, they're not. They're not tough minions. No.
Okay, sweet.
And actually, since I don't have to shift. I can move. Since he's dominated, I'm gonna move 3 and gain concealment.
Okay. Good old shadow down. All right. So Dimitri, you're up.
All right, I'm going to use a healing word on on Sombrero and myself.
You say this out loud. Charbro! I mean, Zumbrio!
Damn it, guys! We practiced this.
Then I'm just going to roll my eyes at the remaining officers and say, "For the love of Eshkatol, stand down already. Stop throwing your lives away."
You're met with naught but screams of, "We will die before you live!" You also take 2 damage on the
We will die before you live.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
They will die before letting you live.
Oh, letting.
Well, no, that's not what they say, but that's what they mean. They're not exactly terribly educated.
All right.
Ryla. Quinn.
Oh, what did I have to do to break out of that restraint, by the way? Was that like an action or a move action or what?
That's a good question. He's dead, but you're still under the net. So let me just have a look. Yes, it's a move action to escape DC 16, acrobatics or athletics.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Yeah. Alright, Ryla, you shoot down the crewman, the last one alive. Just leaving the 2 officers.
I'll also shift 2 just because I can.
I wonder if any of them want to
Radio.
talk more before we kill them.
These guys are dying. I shift 1 as a free action at the start of my turn.
Yeah.
Alright. That officer's fucking dead. This one.
This one's dominated, so
This
can
one
I tell
is-
him to
Yes.
drop his weapon or stab himself?
No, you choose a single action for him to take. It cannot be something where they kill themselves or throw themselves overboard. It's a standard or a move.
I can tell him to throw his weapon away overboard.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah, and then drop his pants.
He'll throw his weapon away.
Men feel very vulnerable and more prone to surrender when they don't have pants.
Alright, so he's going to move to the edge and toss his weapon overboard. And look very confused at everything. Is it a dominated till end of turn, or is it a save?
I just want to point out. Sorry, I just want to point out he's immobilized and prone right now as well.
Oh, is it?
Until I come.
There's no effect on him.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he is
from
the
the
Phantom
grasping.
Chasm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Make sure you check the effects on as well, because I can only go by what's on the track.
Oh, I see. It was under here. Okay. I was wondering why it wasn't showing up.
It's okay. He can toss a sword overboard
Yeah,
while he's
he'll biff it
immobilized
from
and
the
prone.
ground.
Thank you.
And is it sorry, was it a save ends or is it end of turn that he stops being dominated?
End of turn.
Want to say yes.
So he's done with that.
Yeah, end of its next turn.
Okay. So, Odysseus, your turn. Odysseus. Sorry, I keep forgetting that extra.
Okay, let me just. Zoop. Back over here, standing over him. Let me look at my. And I'll burn my spook cantrip.
So what does that do?
And sorry about that. Someone was talking at me.
That's okay.
And I'll go ahead and make my intimidate roll.
Okay,
with
using
Arcana.
Yep. Okay.
So, are you sure you don't want to give up?
He is super intimidated, but he is not going to give up. He is going to try and leap over the edge as soon as he can. But he is not willing to surrender. It is beyond his capabilities. He's a crazed war man.
It was worth a try. All right, grab him.
He's also within like 5 hit points of death, so you can just choose to kill him if you like.
Or knock him out.
Yeah, let's knock him out. I think he's practically helpless at this point, so it's just like, yeah, pretty much.
Or we just throw him overboard and let him fend for himself. He's earned that much.
Maybe we heal him up a bit, then let him swim to shore. It's about 5k.
But he knows too much.
Seems everyone knows too much already.
Yeah, we probably want to see if they know how we were found out.
Yeah, that's my idea.
Well, they might not know that we're going to the
You can knock him
train,
out and tie him
so
up.
to speak.
Talk to him later.
Yeah.
He's just not going to throw down his hands. That's all.
Does our ship obviously look like our RHC ship?
Yes.
That probably doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's basically at our mercy, so we definitely might as well, capture him, drill him for what we've got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so you knock him out, and he collapses on the deck. You can tie him up and deal with the rest of the bodies and the crew, sort of throwing them overboard, go to their watery grave. And after a short while, he'll come to, and you can question him if you like.
We would like.
Okay. Oh, what would you like to ask this man?
Whether they were sent to target just any RHC ship they could find, or whether they were going after us specifically.
He nods, and he confirms that they were after any ship from the RHC. Could spot yours a mile away. Why? Is there something special about?
Oh.
You cut out again.
Sorry, I'm just. Is this the flagship we're on, or just a fairly major ship?
No, you're not a flagship. You're the fastest ship in the fleet, but not by any stretch of the imagination the biggest or the most powerful or the most recognized. The ship
Yeah,
that
we sunk
was
that.
was sunk at the start of the adventure.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we just say, well, it's the fastest ship in the fleet. Figured you might be going for good targets. Anyway, I might ask them, who contacted them from the Obscurati? Where did they, where was the deal struck?
He sort of looks at you. The who?
The men who hired your captain.
He shrugged. I'm not a captain. I'm not the captain. I take the orders. I don't make the deal.
I mean, technically now I think you are the captain.
He laughs.
Can I
Captain of a
see
ship
what-
on the bottom of the floor.
I didn't say you were a good captain.
Can I see whether I reckon he knows more than he's letting on?
Sure. Roll me an insight. Oh, that is your insight. He seems legitimately confused when you mention Obscurati. And it wouldn't be a stretch of the imagination for a captain to keep their contacts from the crew. Both in terms of avoiding a coup, telling your crew who's bringing in the money can lead to them going around you. So it's not unheard of for captains to make deals and simply not pass on details.
Yeah. I don't suppose I can retroactively allow the captain to survive using my Scatologist ability. I probably should have said it earlier.
I'm going to say probably not. You would have to call it, and
Yeah, fair
Ryder did
enough.
specifically say, yeah, he's probably told us everything he can, and kill him.
I made the wise choice. No, dude. I'm sorry.
That's all good. I thought I was pushing my luck, so yeah, that's cool.
Perhaps we can take some sort of lesson from this for next time.
Murder them faster.
Murder them so much faster.
Well, if I
Perhaps
had
you can take
improved
this
initiative,
specific
I would have murdered them faster.
Delft is here, right?
Yes, Delft is on the ship.
I might ask him whether he wants to bother with arresting him or whether we should just maybe heal him up and let him swim back to shore.
Delft will say, this man is he's a liability, and he will ask for your pistol. Or he asks for a pistol.
I stab him.
Delft.
Why would you
No,
stab
not
Delft?
Can I have a pistol? Here, have a knife!
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
he asks for a pistol, standing in front of the guy, and you just step forwards to the officer and slit his throat.
Yep.
And
Okay,
Delft nod.
Don't want Jeff to do dirty work.
Alright. Chuck him overboard with the others. Let's get on with it. I think you should head to shore now so we can get out of the harbour, lest we bring any more attention. Perhaps that steamboat will follow us away, thinking it's chased us off. Could be a positive out of this.
Could
Should
be.
we take a... Wait, what boat did Dimitri came on?
I guess I would have come on just like a wee little, I don't know, some
Just
little
a
wee
runner,
runner boat.
basically, yeah.
Could we fit on that and take that to shore?
Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt, but could we take a break real quick? I have to do a couple things.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Must
I was
be
going to take it
getting
in 3
towards the
minutes
end.
anyway.
Well, how long are we going today anyway?
Oh, yeah, no, it's almost 2. Yeah, no, we'll just end there. Just end as you guys get on the little longboat and start heading to shore and pick up in Beaumont next time.
Oh, alright. Woo, naval battle, yay!
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to even bother healing surging this 2 damage away.
Yeah, you guys have had a short rest, so you guys can spend your healing surges.
Yeah, I do need to
Dimitri.
do that a little bit.
All right.
Malza makes a little gesture and kind of a little wave of light rolls up him, and then not a hair is out of place and all of his clothes are neatly pressed. Thanks, prestidigitation.
Fantastic.
Such a good spell.
All right, so I'm going to kill the recording there. Goodbye.